Hi, it's Dr. Olga here from A Widow's Guide to Grief. Well, I hope everybody had a nice Mother's Day on the weekend. It would have been a difficult time for some people, and for some it might have even been their first Mother's Day without their loved ones, and it would have been difficult. But regardless of that, I do hope that everybody did take some time to self-care on that day and look after themselves and had found some enjoyment in the day, even if it was a little bit. Now, today I wanted to talk about finding out that there is actually a secret, that your loved one had a secret. And there was a question posed about this, and so I am going to speak in general about it as well, because this is a very difficult topic, and there is actually no straightforward answer to this. So one of the things that can happen is, after losing your loved one, sometimes accidentally, or even if you are looking for some answers to things, you can find out that your loved one had a secret. And while sometimes this can be a positive secret, a lot of the times this is quite negative, and it can be anything to do with that you find out your loved one had a gambling problem, that there is a bad debt, that they may have had a drug and alcohol problem, that they may have had an affair, that there are other children, that even for some they may have been quite sick and have not told anyone, and there are lots of other things that there could have been a secret about, and so this does become very difficult for the widow. Now, one of the things is, when you sort of find out or even think there could be a secret, one of the difficulties with this is, and it is a big question that you need to answer for yourself, is do you look for more information or do you just leave it? Now, that all depends on you yourself working out what the consequences of that could be. Now, you won't know exactly what the consequences or ramifications are. You would have to weigh that up, and you would have to decide for yourself whether that is something you'd want to find out. Now, if you already know about the secret, then it is about you deciding how much more information you want to know. Okay. Now, one of the things is, again, also with that information, a big question is, do you actually tell other people? Now, this is very difficult, and it is difficult because, again, you have to look at the pros and cons of each of it and look at which one weighs more. It is something that you then really yourself, as a widow, need to see the effect it would have on you. You yourself need to work out how much information you want to know, who you want to tell. Now, if you need to talk to someone, then you really need to look at, okay, are you going to tell your, maybe if you're religious or have any spiritual guidance, whether you would get it from that. If you have a close friend, would you tell a close friend about it? And that trusted friend. Do you go on and tell other family members? This again comes up to you yourself on how comfortable you feel, what you think the benefit would be. Would it help you and would it help others? Now, if it comes to there being other children that you didn't know about or other family members, then again, there is that sense of being betrayed and you know, that your partner cheated and was not loyal. So within that, you really need to look at, okay, do you meet the other family? Do you tell them? Do you tell them how you found out? And you also, before you approach them, you really need to sort of be prepared on what the different, what can happen when you meet up. The other thing is, with this, when there is a secret, lots of emotions will come up. Now, when there is grief, there's confusion, shock, disbelief, sadness, depression. Now, you will experience that again and this time in another context, and that your partner had not told you about the secret and had kept it from you. And sometimes it needs to be a matter of you looking at, okay, why they didn't tell you, what their own possible reasons. And when you do have all those emotions, and to come to deal with those emotions, it is a matter of you having to write down how you're feeling. Maybe it is even a time that you start writing to your partner, to your loved one, and tell them how you feel. You can also write to yourself back from them what you think that they would have said to you, why they kept a secret from you. You also can express some of these emotions in some sort of other creative way, whether you actually, if you're artistic, you could actually express your emotions through art in some form, or whether, again, like I mentioned, journaling. And sometimes if there is a resting place for them, or if your partner has been is laid in a cemetery, maybe like you will feel better by going and approaching them and actually expressing to them how you feel. It is whatever you find helps you to express those emotions. The other thing is, because again, there is a part of having to process what's happened. One of the things is, because when you've lost your loved one, there is that relationship that you still have with them. It doesn't matter. There is still that close bond, that relationship. Now, the relationship may change and will change. Okay, so one of the things is to remember that while the relationship changes and there is some negative news that you found out the secret, you still need to go back to remember the good things about them, the positive things about them, because regardless of that secret, there was still a lot of good times that you had with them, that they had still a lot of positive qualities. So you still want to be able to revisit them and go back to those positive qualities with them. Now, this is a very difficult topic, and you know what, basically there is no right or wrong. You need to decide for yourself what is the best way for you to express your emotions. What is the best thing for you to do? What do you think the ramifications will be? And ultimately, if you need to write it all down so that you can look at it clearer. The other thing is, it is also good to have someone to confide in. And you know what? If you need some professional help about this, then you need to go and get this and speak to someone professional about it, so that they can look at it objectively as well and help you guide through processing the emotions and everything that has happened. Now, thank you for today's session, and reach out if you need any help, and please feel free to post any questions.